Tell me, Bears fans, have you ever felt that strange quiet before a storm? That eerie electric pause when you just know something big is about to crash down, even if you can't see the clouds yet? That's where we are right now in Chicago. The skyline looks the same. The lake is calm, but you can feel it deep in your gut, like the wind just shifted and the whole city is holding its breath. And maybe it's not just the smell of grilled sausages outside Soldier Field or the echoes of Bear Down rattling in your head. Maybe, just maybe, it's the sense that Ryan Poles is staring at a chessboard the rest of the league hasn't even noticed yet. And he's about to move a piece nobody saw coming. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky fantasy about grabbing headlines for the sake of it. No, this is about altering the trajectory of the Chicago Bears, about making a move so sharp, so calculated, that it slices straight into the heart of every offense we face. Could it be the game changer we've been aching for? The one that doesn't just give us an edge, but makes us the edge everyone else fears? You start running the scenarios in your head. Could it be a defender who changes the math every snap? Could it be the kind of pressure that turns confident quarterbacks into deer in headlights by the second quarter? Could it be that while the rest of the league talks about us being a few years away, the front office is ready to make the future right now? History tells us it's possible. Think back to 2018. The Khalil Mack trade didn't just add a player. It rebranded the Chicago Bears overnight. We went from a team fighting for relevance to a team that made contenders nervous. Mack was the statement. But here's the thing. Mack was brought in when the team felt one piece away. This time around, Brad Biggs will tell you, we're not. Just a single missing puzzle piece from a Lombardi run. Yet, sometimes the moment still demands the bold play. Sometimes you don't wait for the last piece. You grab it early and force the rest of the puzzle to adapt around it. We've already got Montez Sweat coming off one edge, a proven nightmare for tackles who earns every penny of his contract. But ask yourself this. How many times last season did you see Sweat closing in, only for the quarterback to step up into a pocket that was just clean enough to escape? How many times did you feel that half-second hesitation from the defense that gave the offense life? Now picture another hunter coming from the opposite side, a relentless finisher who doesn't just get sacks but ruins plays. A guy who makes quarterbacks feel claustrophobic the second the ball is snapped. The cost for a player like that? Always steep. Draft capital, cap space, maybe even a young asset. That's why Poles hasn't pulled that trigger yet, because the fit has to be perfect. But every once in a while, the right name comes up, and suddenly the math starts to make sense. So who could it be? Who's the player capable of walking into Hollis Hall and instantly turning our front seven into the most feared unit in the NFC? The whispers have been there for weeks. An AFC team with playoff experience. A pass rusher who's been a double-digit sack artist year after year. The kind of guy who doesn't just show up for highlight plays. He lives in the backfield, disrupting everything in his path. And just like that, the name slides across the table. Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, that Trey Hendrickson, the Cincinnati Bengals edge nightmare. The guy who's made a career out of breaking pockets and breaking hearts. He's still under contract, but situations shift fast in the NFL. Rumors about his long-term fit in Cincy have sparked more than a few raised eyebrows in Chicago. And why wouldn't they? Hendrickson isn't just a sack machine. He's a motor that never cools, a fighter on every down, the kind of player who shows up in January and doesn't disappear under the lights. Now think about him in navy and orange. Picture Sweat on one side, Hendrickson on the other, with our interior crashing down like a landslide. How do you block that? You don't. You just hope to survive it. Offensive lines will be in constant conflict. Slide to one side, and you leave the other man one-on-one. Keep a tight end in to block, and you cripple your passing game. Quarterbacks would start hearing footsteps that aren't even there. The defense becomes the aggressor, dictating every series, forcing mistakes, and feeding the offense extra possessions. And it's not just the on-field havoc. A move like this sends a message to the locker room that winning isn't tomorrow's goal. It's today's mission. It tells Caleb Williams the front office is putting teeth behind the hype. It tells the defense they're being given the tools to be legendary. And it tells the fans, loud and clear, the days of waiting are over. But here's the thing. Big swings like this don't come without risk. The Bengals won't give him up for cheap. The financial hit will be real, and the league is full of vultures ready to swoop in if we hesitate. Which leaves us staring at one simple, dangerous question. Is Ryan Poles ready to pull the trigger on the move that could redefine the Chicago Bears before the rest of the NFC even knows what's happening? Bears fans, if the thought of an opposing quarterback taking one look at our defensive front and knowing the game is already over sends a chill down your spine, then you know exactly why this conversation matters. This isn't just adding talent. This is about transforming Chicago into a place where hope goes to die for visiting offenses. A move like this would flip the NFC on its head, forcing rivals to redraw their playbooks, rethink their protection schemes, and face the reality that Soldier Field could once again be the NFL's most hostile battlefield. And if that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. Picture the first time Trey Hendrickson suits up in navy and orange. He lines up across from Montez Sweat, and before the ball is even snapped, the offensive line knows they're in for 60 minutes of survival mode. This is the kind of pairing that doesn't just rush the passer. It breaks the will of an offense. It forces mistakes before contact is even made. Hendrickson's track record speaks for itself. Since 2020, he's been a top 5 edge rusher. In sacks and pressures, posting double-digit sacks 3 straight years, and doing it when the lights are brightest. Add Sweat's explosiveness, and you've got a 1-2 punch that could rival any pass rush duo in the league. And what does that mean for our secondary? Everything. Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon suddenly get tighter windows to defend. Yaquan Brisker gets more chances to jump routes because quarterbacks can't sit back and wait for something to develop. Those half-second shaved-off passing plays, that's turnovers, that's field position swings. That's the kind of hidden yardage that wins playoff games. Hendrickson isn't just another name on the roster. He's a catalyst, the spark, that ignites every level of the defense. But beyond X's and O's, think about the psychological weight of this move. This city has always loved its defensive legends, Butkus, Singletary, Ehrlicher, Briggs. Mack and Hendrickson's motor, his relentlessness, fits that lineage perfectly. Every snap he plays tells the same story. No retreat, no pause, no mercy. You put that in front of a Chicago crowd in December, with the wind howling off the lake and the turf frozen solid, and you've got the stuff of nightmares for any visiting offense. This is Chicago football at its core. And let's be real, the NFC North would feel this immediately. Jordan Love wouldn't have the time to find his rhythm. Jared Goff's timing-based offense in Detroit, thrown off before it starts. Minnesota's passing game, reduced to quick checkdowns and desperation throws. It changes the entire complexion of the division. We're no longer chasing the top. We're dictating the terms of the fight. Yes, there's a price. Draft picks, cap space, the kind of commitment that forces you to go all in on your current roster. But that's exactly why it's worth it right now. Caleb Williams is on a rookie deal. The offensive core is young and hungry. The defense has the pieces. Adding Hendrickson could turn them into the most feared unit in the NFC. The Bengals won't just hand him over, but in this league, hesitation is often the difference between making history and watching it happen to someone else. This move would tell the players in the locker room that the organization believes their time is now. It would tell the fans that the days of endless rebuild talk are over. And it would tell the rest of the NFL that when you come to Chicago, you're not walking into a game. You're walking into a war. Trey Hendrickson in a Bears uniform isn't just a transaction. It's a declaration. And if Ryan Poles has the courage to pull the trigger, the NFC might never be the same again.